Fortune cookies say.
You're listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Greetings! Episode 2, Epic Fail. We've definitely lived up to our name. We are recording this a day late and $1 short. Well, maybe I'm giving him too much credit for being $1. We've only got 3 of us here this week. Number 4 decided it's too late, he's going to bed. We called him a pansy, and now we're recording. I am Draven Dresden here, the host slash creator, I guess. And with me is Charlotte. Is that?
Yep.
Okay, because every time I say your name, I pronounce it differently. So
I accept both. Scarlet.
Yeah, she's got 12 different names too.
Yeah, and one of these days I'm just gonna call it, hey, it's 42.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. I am currently a player on Airy Peak in the CTR Guild, and I main a Blood Death Knight.
Okay. And the only way I'm going to describe you right now is the Diabloholic.
Come on,
yes,
I haven't played that much Diablo at all.
No, not at all. If you're not in a raid, you are in Diablo. If you're on.
I'm not in a raid right now, and I'm not in Diablo. I should change.
Holy cow.
I should start playing Diablo right now.
Why me? How you doing, Lat?
I'm doing good, man. Late night, Saturday night, a couple beers in the system. Went and raided with my buddies over on Thunderlord for a little while, and, here we are.
How'd you do?
We did all right. I jumped in, played on the Boomkin a little bit, and actually raid healed for the first time ever on a Druid, and the first time in WoD, period. So that was fun. Hots all over the place for everything. That's kind of boring.
Do you have a disc priest with you?
But it is, no, we didn't actually until the end. And then as soon as we got the disc priest in, I said screw it and changed over to balance.
Yeah.
And then for Marduk pulls, I switched over to the tank. And just kind of a fun little alt raid to get some of the lower people in the guild some gear. So went well.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of raiding, I heard that there was some issues this week.
The castle crumbles.
Yeah, it's the passing of an era which was 1 tier long. The group that we were all in, called Orc Busters in CTR, officially called it quits on, I guess, what was it, Tuesday?
Yep.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday. Didn't quite make it a year, because, let's see, I joined up Orc Busters in September of last year, and I think they were, 3 months old at that point, so not unheard of.
The issue that we had was, I don't know if it was a lack of focus or just different, what do we want and all that. We just weren't killing the bosses like we were expecting to.
It was a great group of people, but in WoD, something
happened. I don't know. I'm not going to blame anyone in particular. These things happen. I mean, I'd like to say it's this person's fault, but no.
I think it was just lack of rating chemistry together is basically what it was.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to get nitpicky, there's 100,000 issues we could all point at, and each one of us was at least one of them.
Yep.
So
it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yep.
But,
so the end of an era, Orc Busters is no more. But in the ashes of Orc Busters, Charlotte, what happened?
We have a new raid team, and we decided to rebuild the raid. We're now called Busted. We're recruiting if anybody wants to join.
You should have done Orc Busted.
No, we're just
I'm
busted.
gonna write a strongly worded in-game mail to iHeels.
Is it going to be a capital bolded letter E?
No.
Okay. I'm assuming probably like the same-ish raid times.
Yes. Mondays and Wednesdays, 6:30 server, which is 9:30
Eastern.
Yes. And we need DPS. So come and join us.
That's a first, a raid team looking for DPS.
I know, we got our healers, we got our tanks.
Yep.
But
You guys got to post up on the CTR forums?
in the process, yes. Furby was doing that, and we have a our team pages are being created, so
Yeah.
The return of Furbala. Dun, 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 dun.
It's-
Dun dun dun.
I got to play with her a little bit. Some of my Thunderlord folks, it was, let's see, last Tuesday, we weren't able to get all of our people online, and we kind of merged with Swayze and his posse over there. We had a really good time, and Fur was in there, and we kind of caught up a little bit, and
Yeah, I didn't make it this Tuesday, but I was there last week, and she was there on her mage.
yeah, we got a couple new bosses down for him, so
Mhm.
that was exciting. Swayze was happy about that, and I will never pass an opportunity to raid with Swayze, man. That guy is a riot. He
Oh, yeah,
cracks.
he's fun. If anyone listening in Alliance side, especially the CTR people, if you see Swayze and he's looking for people, if for no other reason, join just to hear him talk.
he is
Yes.
epic.
I mean, that was early Siege whenever he was the raid lead before he had to step down for whatever reason. I never heard. That was some of the most fun raiding I'd had in a long time. I mean, he doesn't pull punches, but he doesn't scream and yell at people.
Right.
So,
If you did something wrong, he'll get passive aggressive with you, but it's still hard not to laugh.
yeah,
Just the way he words stuff.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
he's cool. He's good people, as they say. Lat, something happened with me and you last night, which is why we didn't get to record last night.
Oh, yes. Can I preface this with a pre-story of the history of Jambi the Boomkin?
Yeah.
So, I've always followed the Asparagus Initiative guys. Good old Pat Crane, Darius, and Coltrane, the hosts of the CTR podcast. I'm sure anybody listening to this has heard it. They run the official raid group, as it's called, of Convert to Raid Asparagus Initiative. I talked with Darius in the past a little bit, asked him, hey, I got, some rogues and some other stuff that could come in and raid. If you ever have a spot, let me know. He's like, well, we really need a boom chicken. So, I've never played Balance Druid. I've played Guardian, Feral a little bit. So I had a chicken that was at 100. Let's see, Wednesday morning at approximately 1 a.m. I think he was like eye level 570 or something. So I just went absolutely ham. Got him up to, I think, 662 in about 24 hours.
That's a lot
Went
of
in.
BOEs, man.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness, I'm broke. It's terrible. But
What happened to that 60k gold I gave you?
oh, I went through a heck of a lot more than that. I don't even
Yeah.
want to talk about it, and I'm going to start having remorse again.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I leveled him up and said, hey, I'll come in and give it a shot. My DPS, as expected, was absolutely atrocious, but the gear's just not there. I got decent item level, but I don't think I could be any worse itemized if I tried.
Oh, I'm sure you could try.
I probably could try, but
Yeah.
so Draven and I trialed with them on one of their alt runs in BRF normal on Friday, and it went well. I had a good time. They're a good
Yeah, I
group
mean, other than how long was the server outage? Like
oh,
half hour, 45 minutes?
yeah, we pulled on Hans and Franz, and we killed them, and then afterwards, everybody's just sitting there floating around,
Yeah.
and the
Were
server
you
was
able to
down
get
for...
loot?
No,
Nope,
it
let's go
actually.
back in and kill them again.
Yeah,
Ugh.
the server technically went down with like, not even, I'm gonna say like 100k HP left. Like literally 2-3 melee swings and they were dead.
Yeah, they were
Now
super tough.
on my screen, they fell over, and I was able to loot, and I got gold. But when I came back, that gold was gone.
They were dead on my screen.
Yeah.
I was able, well, I tried to loot, but the server was dead at that point. I could
Yeah.
still move, but everybody else is just kind of running in place. Good old Zug, Pat was just sitting there doing like the super slow-mo moonwalk,
Oh, that
and
was cool.
I'm stuck. It crashed right as I'm doing a glyph of flapping owl, which is by and far the best thing in WoW ever. So everybody just sees me sitting there flapping with the funny little druid chicken face. It was great.
Now, for those listening, there was an L in that word.
Yes, flap. We had that discussion as well.
Yeah.
They wanted to know what exactly I was doing constantly, so
Yeah.
flapping
Yeah.
with an L.
So, other than the server hiccup that lasted way too long, but those things happen. We got to Iron Maidens, and
Iron Maidens, 8 of 10.
yeah,
We good.
not,
We had
not
a
too
lot
bad
of
for not too bad for having a couple people that were a little undergeared.
yes, and a lot of pugs actually making it
Yeah.
that far is a testament. We had some of those guys in there pulling some pretty crazy numbers. Kind of
Yeah.
humbled me a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I knew a couple of us weren't going to be high up on the list,
Yeah.
but I think I held my own for my item level because of the
I
people
beat
that
the
were.
tanks on all the polls. I'll say that. That's about all I got.
Yeah.
So
Darius
yeah, I
pulled
got
out his druid to tank because we couldn't find one. That was.
you did.
And every single boss, we were like, okay, group 1 and 3 go left, group 2 and 4 go right, and everyone was like, who goes where?
Where am I going?
Every pull. It was the funniest thing. And at one point,
Yeah.
I think it was a blast furnace. I just was like, everyone's going left, right? It was just one of those things where in between the polls, we were goofing off during the poll. A couple jokes would get made by a couple people here and there, but we were taking the bosses seriously.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to actually kill them. I got absolutely no tier off of any of my bonus rolls. It was all the loot was personal, so you had to loot it. So I am still at 0 tier.
I got one piece of loot. No, just a whole bunch of gold, and the one piece of loot I got was for the only slot which I had an item in that was actually itemized decently. So I got nothing other than the joy and excitement of running with those fine gentlemen.
Yep.
It was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Yep. And then technically now, since it's the first and they raid tonight on the first, I get to go with them into heroic as a trial on my paladin.
Outstanding.
Yeah, they've already explained their loot and all that fun stuff. I am not gonna get any, which I presumed already, unless nobody needs it. If nobody needs it, it's mine. If I want it.
Yeah, but Darius did preface that they're getting quickly past the point of where everybody needs everything. So you never know.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces in there that I can use definitely. Tier, I have no chance off of anything but a bonus roll, but
Yeah.
I have 10, so I'm good there.
I have 0 because I've only had 1 week.
Yeah.
But,
Are you going as well for the heroic bug?
to be determined. It's
Gotcha.
we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Didn't hear any bad things. Hey, I played well. If one thing I pride myself, I'm not going to top meters unless it's a fight that I can cheese on, but I'm not going to stand in bad either. So.
Yeah.
Standing bad. That's my job as a tank. What?
No.
Yeah, pretty much. They did have a couple strats that were different than what we were used to, but that's what you do. You adapt.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, once we got to Iron Maidens, it was really late for a lot of us. I had been awake for a measly 20-something hours
Jeez.
at that point, and I could feel, I was like, it's time to go to sleep. And I started playing more bad than normal.
More batter.
Yes. More epically badder. But, I mean, everyone started, you could see the exhaustion was hitting everybody, so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
think-
started slipping towards the end, but
Yeah. I mean, we got fairly low. I mean, what was it? 4 or 5%, I think.
he had
on
a couple
investment?
solid pulls on it.
Yeah.
Of course, solid by my measurement. I'm sure for them they were all garbage pulls, but
Oh yeah, there was something that went wrong every single pull. Someone
yeah.
would run the wrong way, and you adjust. But
That still is pretty awesome.
yeah, they're
Oh,
cool. I was actually surprised Zug showed up, and
yeah.
I mean we started late, but that was still cool.
It was fun afterwards. We went and a few of them went and played Heroes of the Storm, and then Darius and Coltrane and some of the guys, we rocked out a little bit of Diablo as we could because at that point BattleNet was still being a little wonky. So,
Yeah.
but it was a good time. I'm looking forward to getting in with them.
Yeah, we
So.
got some Diablo news coming up, which I am not looking forward to.
You totally are.
Uh,
You secretly love it.
I am, but I'm not. That's all I'm going to say about it for right now. Yeah, in terms of like big Blizzard news, there wasn't a whole lot of huge epic news. There was some hot fixes, that kind of thing. Um, it isn't Blizzard direct, like they didn't directly influence it, but FCC did that net neutrality.
Yeah,
They passed it, so now the internet is considered a utility in the United States, which is really cool.
we can all continue to play our games and
Yes.
not be censored and throttled and
Yeah,
charged.
they're not allowed to basically, in my case, if I'm playing WoW and Hearthstone and Heroes all at the same time, which I would never actually play all three at the same time. But if I
That
did,
would be skillful.
well, I mean, Hearthstone is just, a few seconds here and there. But
Right.
the other two, depending on what you're doing, yeah. If I was doing all of them at once and eating bandwidth, they are not allowed to turn my bandwidth down. Is basically what it is. There's a minimum. Well, what is it? What's the minimum now? Is it?
I didn't follow it close enough to be able to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but it's a decent number. It's higher than what I'm getting now. So I don't know when it takes effect. Sometime later this year, but it was a really big deal that it passed.
Netflix
Until
user choice.
it was the big news of the day for about 2 hours, and then all of a sudden that freaking llama thing and that dress thing. Whatever. I'm done with.
No,
Yeah.
That is
there was a really
farthest
interesting
thing.
blue post about, or was it black or white?
It was gold.
Gold, I think.
Yeah, it was a gold post. They just
Gold
for the day they used gold ladders.
No, I swear it was black and blue.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
the science in the eye
Yeah.
that you see a shadow and a llama with, I don't know. Yeah.
Llama wearing a dress. Yeah, it was one of those things.
I ran into that at work, and everybody
yeah.
was so strung out about that. They're like, "How are people waste? The internet's free, and
Yeah.
now we can debate over
In-
llamas and dress colors."
In typical internet fashion, we get net neutrality is official, and we spend the day going back and forth about llamas and what color is this dress.
The dress. I don't always wear dresses, but when I do, I prefer them made of saran wrap, so color isn't an issue. Oh my!
You should
Oh
do bubble
my.
wrap instead.
That way, when you
Oh,
hug somebody, it goes
fantastic.
pop, 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 pop.
Yes.
That's great. I've seen pink bubble wrap at the hardware store too. This is happening.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want pink bubble
Yeah,
wrap.
there's all you name a color, they may bubble wrap in it.
What?
Yep.
How did I not know this?
It's cold here, right?
everything.
I'm in Omaha. Have you guys ever heard of people putting bubble wrap on their windows?
No?
I've
Oh,
seen
it's
like
fan-
plastic
it's
on
terrific.
people, like car windows and stuff like that. But
all as you do, you take bubble wrap and you just spray water on the window with a mister, a spray bottle, and you stick the bubble wrap. You cut it to the size of the window and you stick it bubble side down, and it makes your windows more energy efficient.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like plastifying your windows, but more
Yeah.
fun.
it's great.
But
Me
when
and
you're when you're done, you can pop everything.
Well, or you can save it, if you want to be green or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, me and Booth were looking for bubble wrap, and everywhere we went, it was just all pink. I think we have
Oh,
to
you
start going
should
to
have put
Office
pink
Depot.
windows. Seriously.
Another non-Blizzard related news. Sadly, we lost somebody this year.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nerd related. Is why I'm bringing it up. Leonard Nimoy, best known as Spock.
Yep.
Yeah,
passed away. Was it Wednesday?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday because
That's right.
Twitter was just all live long and prosper and everything like that. But apparently he did send out a tweet like
Right before,
right
yeah.
beforehand, like he knew it was happening.
Yep.
So that was cool. But
Yeah. So thoughts with his family,
yeah,
friends, and that's a loss.
Poor Sheldon.
yeah.
Yeah. Poor. Yeah. Imagine Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. He must be
Oh.
devastated.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm fully expecting whatever they had filmed this next week to be completely changed.
Yeah, that's true. I've never thought of that.
And then I saw the greatest internet meme, and it's sad that he died, but it did cause one of the greatest internet memes ever, which is going back to when Penny gave him the napkin. It's like, it's okay, guys, we have a backup plan. He can make his own. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, farewell, dear sir.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've got that kind of stuff out of the way, usual disclaimers. Anything said is meant in humor. We're not trying to be mean to anybody. If you take it as us being mean, well, A, grow thicker skin, and B, realize it's a joke.
The views
I'm
expressed in
offended.
this podcast are that of the hosts and hosts alone.
Do not judge CTR based on what we say, because we are insane, and CTR is actually kind of cool.
And the dress was blue. Just
Dang
saying.
llama! Yeah. Okay, so, first up we got WoW. Tons of hotfixes went out. Really nothing major. I mean, there was a couple classes.
They were all pretty meh.
Yeah, I mean, they're hotfixes. It's no big deal.
Oh, but there is a cool feature that they put in.
Oh my god.
Selfies.
Twitter. Huh.
No, I'm serious. It's a serious
I'm
thing.
serious too.
And one of my characters has serious in the name. So I guess I'm serious too.
No, you can now whisper anybody on any realm, even if they're not a real ID.
What?
Now,
Yes.
were you in the group with this person at the time?
No.
Okay, because I know
I
in a group
tested
you
it.
could do that.
No. You just have to put their name,
And then the dash.
and then the dash, and then their server name, and it works. And they can reply. It takes a few extra seconds more than when you whisper someone, but you can now. I did it. I whispered people on a different server, and it worked.
Yay. That's
Oh,
actually
love
kind of
that.
cool. I don't know, like, if they're not a real ID or Battle.net friend, why you'd be whispering people on another server. But that's still kind of a cool feature. I mean,
I've wanted to whisper people after like LFR and stuff,
Yeah.
and then they've
Yeah,
left the
not for good
LFR.
reasons.
No,
Well,
like
yeah.
last time I was in LFR, I was trying to compliment the tank because he knew what he was doing, and then he left like right away, and then I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
that's because he had other things to do, like go save another LFR.
exactly.
Speaking of LFR, Cro-Mag, you suck.
I must get really, really lucky with my LFR groups. I've never wiped to Imperator in LFR, and granted, I'm not pulling from a very big sample size because I try to not run LFR if at all possible. But
Yeah.
I went in my group one-shotted Chromog. It was easy. I don't know. People are having problems.
Well, the big issue with that fight is the gripping hands. They have so little health that you burn through them so quickly that by the time he starts casting his cast, they're dead.
Yes.
So you literally have to kind of be like, one.
I have to think that
It's
encounter-
Blizzard trolling us. It has to be.
Exactly. They had to do it on purpose. They have to be like, oh,
It's like, you guys
everybody
want
wants their-
40 mans. Here's Molten Core. Oh, LFR is too hard. Here, have this.
it's so easy. You're gonna kill yourself.
Yes. I mean, you get one hunter to throw barrage and you wipe the raid. I had the great luck of having 3 hunters deciding to do this.
No, no.
And they intentionally were all the way around the room. I didn't see, they weren't in the same guild. They just spread out, like one hunter was on the left, one was in the middle, and one was on the far right. They all used barrage to get us down. And this is after, like, we've wiped 3 times. We know what's happening. And we're like, guys, stop it. You're killing us.
I love it.
I mean,
It's
in
they
terms
should
of-
do that in actual encounters. It brings to mind. I watched one of the Fat Boss from earlier in the month. Then they had Baloney on, a balanced druid, and he was talking about all these fights where AoEing is a trap. I think they should do something like that in an actual raid, to where if you cheese the meters, you wipe the raid. I would love it.
That would, yeah, I mean, not a constant thing, but at least one fight,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just not when I'm on my combat rogue. Then I'll hate it, because then I can't cheese the meters.
Yeah.
Did you figure out how to use Starfall to cheese the meters?
They nerfed it, and my
What?
gear sucks. So my start, yeah, they did. 6.1, 16.6%. Like,
Ooh.
kind of
That's
feel.
a fairly substantial nerf.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they pulled that number out of their backside a little bit, but what? 16.6.
Yeah.
Come on.
That does seem like a weird number, but
It was
it did
overpowered.
need nerfed.
Yes, it was very overpowered, but
It's
and
like
again,
that. It's like that 1 week in early Cataclysm, maybe Firelands, where a Ret Paladin could go and solo current content raid because they were just so overpowered. If you did the right combination of things, you would be doing like 1 million DPS, and your self heals would be so high that you just couldn't die.
yeah.
I found out about it after they fixed it, so I didn't actually get to experience it, which I'm glad about, because I would have done these things and felt horrible afterwards.
I'm never one to complain about nerfs, because I know they're just trying to balance.
Yeah. I mean, they suck from, like, why are you nerfing this? These other things need nerf. Oh, yeah, I guess in this situation it was kind of overpowered.
The only complaint I've ever had about nerfs is how they completely castrated affliction locks, but other than that, do what you want. I don't care.
Yeah, warlocks. Who needs them except for cookies? I mean,
Right.
I love warlocks.
Healing tonics are now better for any non-warlock.
Yes, that is
So,
true.
that's public service announcement, folks. If you're not a warlock, use a healing tonic. You'll get more healing out of it. Other than that, there's really not much going on in WoW. I mean, Twitter, the selfie explosion is real.
Yes.
I love it.
I've actually tried to use the Twitter thing, but it keeps failing to send it to Twitter.
It is slow, but
It's failing. It's not
Oh, yours is
going
failing.
slow. It's failing. Like it says thanks for connecting to Twitter whenever I set it up. So I mean my password's right, my account's right, and all that. It goes to send to Twitter, and it's just like no.
Here's a super fun fact for all you selfie takers. When you have the camera in your hand, you can still do emotes, you can sit, you can lay down, which looks absolutely hilarious. You can dance.
The first I tried to, because there's an achievement for the selfies. You have to take a selfie at all 1,000 locations in game, or however many there are. It's for a title, the photojournalist or something like that. I found out that at least my human character, because I play a human currently for the rep bonus since I didn't get the bonus I wanted, had no right arm during the selfie pose, which is the one you're holding with. So you see the underside of a shoulder plate.
Boom chickens levitate the camera because apparently they can't hold a camera with their furry little hands.
Well, I mean, you're gonna basically see up your beak if you are actually holding, because they're not that. But yeah,
I really want
they've
to see
apparently
a boom
fixed
chicken
this.
hold the camera now.
Yeah.
They
Apparently
don't hold it. It's just like they just sit there with
just
their
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you call them arms or do you call them wings? I don't know. Ooh,
Yes.
I need to wait. I need to try flapping when I'm doing a selfie.
Yes, and Twitter it.
Yeah.
And
Just
and then
because.
just put a capital. There's an L in it, people.
Yes, flap.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they've since fixed it. It was like a day one thing, and it wasn't just me that had that issue. It was apparently a widespread thing where most humans were posing wrong. Like they were losing their arms and random other pieces. I actually saw one where the face was not rendered fully, so it looked
I
like,
saw that.
yeah. I mean, it was like not skull, but it was so. I don't know. It was like right out of a horror movie. Like if you
It
saw
was
this guy
totally
coming
a
at you,
zombie.
yeah, if you saw this thing coming at you, you would run away.
that's great. I had to
Yeah.
make a new Twitter account because I didn't want like my 8 followers to block me or unfollow when I started spamming WoW stuff. So it's
Yeah.
great.
You have a WoW selfie one now?
I do. I have a WoW selfie Twitter.
Yeah, there's a few people I know that I'm like, you're lucky I like your other stuff because this selfie thing you've got going is annoying. But, whatever.
I'm
Yeah.
lucky. My Twitter account was made for just WoW stuff. So.
Yeah. I don't have any real life friends on my Twitter, so I'm cool.
As another side note, not Twitter related, the heirloom tab, that's baller. I love it.
I don't like how they did that.
What?
I
What?
I have to literally go. I went through all my tunes that had heirlooms. Not an issue with that. My issue with it is one, it only shows your spec or not spec, but your class specific gear by
You
default.
can change it.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
change
by
it,
default.
but by default. That's my first issue with it. So whenever I'm going through, I'm like, okay, which ones am I still missing? Why is it only showing plate on my? Oh, okay.
Well, come on, that's user error. You
That
can't
one
be
was
mad at them for
that one was
for-
user error because I didn't register right off the bat that it was your class specific armor. My real huge issue is I was spamming through my tunes so quickly I didn't get them out right away. I didn't know it was going to get mailed to me on the tune that I logged in that got number 35.
See, I didn't have very many because I had to go. I went and bought everything that poor guy at Iron Forge. That looks like
mobbed.
Oh my! It looks like a holiday event. It's like
Yeah.
Christmas tree all over again. It was ridiculous.
So I literally got the mount today because I didn't know which tune had it. Like I didn't know which one actually got number 35 out of. I don't know. I'm missing the new necks. I'm missing the ring for the fishing because I won the fishing tournament before that, and then the Garrosh shields. Other than that, I've got them all.
I'm gonna be an antagonist here. Woe is you.
Yeah. So I had to go through all my tunes again, looking through the mail to find. That was my issue with that tab, was they mailed it. Out of all the things, we have the achievements. We can just, they just show up. They're not even sent in the mail anymore. Why was this one any different? That was my issue.
I will say I would rather they do it this way than send one to every single one of your characters.
There is
then
that.
You just end up with what is it, like pets or special anniversary stuff that they send you, and you just end up
that
with
you can only have
47
one
of the same thing. Yeah,
you can only have one of it, and you get one on every character. It's like, really, guys? Come on now.
I would rather they do it the way that they did. And to be honest, I understand it's a little misleading with only the class-specific armor at first, but you know exactly what you would be saying if they didn't do that way after a while.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why do I have to scroll through all this stuff?
Yeah, I got no problem with that. I mean, it was annoying at first. I get it, no problem. It's the mount in the mail. Why not just put it in the mount tab?
I agree with you there.
I mean,
but
yeah.
if lesser of two evils, they did it right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overly upset at it. It's just one of those annoyances of like, really, guys? Really? And then you get over it.
Right.
I mean,
I was
it's
happy.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's number 303 overall for me, so, can't get overly mad about it.
I was upset about the mount at first and then happy. Because when I first learned it, it didn't change my mount count, but then there was a blue post that said some mounts went missing. So then when they got fixed with the hotfix yesterday, and I went mount farming and I got my other drop, I hit 250 mounts.
Which mounts did they say went missing? Because I noticed, because I had 301, because the green drake was number 300, and then I got another rep one, which made it 301, and then 6-1 hit, and all of a sudden I'm back down to 300. I'm like, what?
They didn't say which mounts went missing. They just said some mounts were not displaying for some people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was only one of them, but I know for a fact it was there. So I guess, yeah, the chauffeured mount, which I haven't used yet, was number 302, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm saying if somebody just kept me around just to ride me around all the time and take me into these dangerous spots, I'd run the hell away too.
Well, you are a druid. People literally can ride you around.
I took that glyph off. I want to run faster instead of be convenient.
But that was so fun to be convenient.
I refuse to be somebody's mount.
I'm not touching that
Don't
one.
don't take that out of context.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one. You guys got anything else WoW related going this week? I didn't really see a whole lot other than what we've mentioned.
No, it's been a pretty quiet week in WoW, which is I'm okay with.
Yeah, I mean the trader thing got that was the big hotfix was the trader. Instead of being random, it is now kind of set. Like instead of hey, it's gonna be for 17 days in a row if you get a trader. Now it'll rotate.
I like that though. That is much better.
Yeah, that is much better because the way it was going, which is what everyone was waiting on, was not ever going to show up.
This way it promotes a little community. You got to ask around and find somebody that's got the one you want. And then,
actually, no, you don't have to even do that. You can go into the pre-made group, and there are always people in there. Hey, I've got Harrison Jones. Hey, I've got the Ore Trader. Hey, I've got Muradin.
Well, still, hey, you have to be sociable for like 12 seconds at least. Come on.
Yeah, you just, hey, they've got it. Click. And most of them are AFK auto accepts. So you don't even have to say a word.
Well, that's not sociable. They should be sociable.
Everyone's like, they're going to start. A couple people I follow were like, they're going to start charging for this. People are going to charge to, invite. First thing people do, go to the pre-made and just AFK.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, Blizzard kind of dropped it on that one. That was funny. All right, so if we're done with WoW, that brings us to this weird card game called Hearthstone. There actually is news this week.
Yes, there is.
4 things were data mined. 3 of them were card backs, and 1 we're presuming is an adventure that it will get. I'm presuming it's going to get announced at PAX.
I think so.
Because that's what makes the most sense to me. There was a BRM was data mine, which we're taking as Blackrock Mountain, mainly because there's a Ragnaros card back and stuff like that. So we're looking at more than likely a Blackrock Mountain / Molten Core adventure the same way Nax was.
I'm okay with that because Ragnaros is one of my favorite cards in Hearthstone.
Yeah, he actually won me one a couple days ago.
He wins all my games.
Yeah. He either helps you win or helps you lose slower.
Epically.
Yeah. I'm going to lose, but here's a Ragnaros.
Also, it does, if you follow the tournaments that were going around.
They've been having, 3 to 5 a day? I'm like, Jesus, people.
Yeah, because it's tournament season, and it also helps qualify for BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Effective toilet time.
No. One of the more famous streamers got really famous in a semi-embarrassing way.
Oh dear.
Because the opponent did not have any taunts up. The opponent was on 8 health, and he had in his hand a silence. And the opponent had like 4 other cards, and he was going to die next turn. He did not silence his Ragnaros and hit 8 in the face. And hence lost that tournament.
Oh.
Whoops.
Now, did he have other minions out?
No.
So there was nothing he could have done except for silence Rag.
He put down some minions, and he silenced something, but it wasn't Rag.
Okay.
But the guy did not have a taunt, so he could have done the silence Rag and hit in the face.
Yeah.
In the face.
In the face.
That's one of those where you're like...
He gambled on the chance that Rag was going to hit the face, and then, of course, lost because Rag hit the other minions.
Yeah.
It's hate it when Rag hits my face.
Yeah.
You almost sound like
I have no idea what I'm
talking about.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But other than that, mech mages still suck.
Yes, they do.
I would play a mech mage, but I don't have all the cards. Just because, screw you people.
And then I'd kill you with my Ragnaros.
Maybe.
So violent.
my fire.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's really all the Hearthstone. The possible adventure coming. The announcement for in PAX more than likely. I don't think we'll see it prior to that. They might give a date like, hey, come in this summer, because that would be the best time for it because it's freaking hot in the summer.
No.
Only in certain places.
Yeah. I'm in Ohio. It's either really cold, really hot, or really raining.
Yeah, it's pretty much here too.
And sometimes all of them at once. Try to figure that one out.
Could be. Yeah, that you got me there.
Yeah, it's Ohio. The motto here should be, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
That's Nebraska. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's a lot of places, but
Yeah.
there was one day last year where we had all 4 seasons within an hour.
And that's awkward for barbecue season.
Yeah. Well, it was February, so
Oh.
it was weird. But,
On the side, Booth and I, we storm chase, and we could top that. We were in northwest Kansas, and it was snowing, and we were in a tornado warning.
What?
Yes.
Have you seen a tornado in the snow?
No, a snow-nado.
Yeah.
I have not. But it was on the backside of a front that pushed through, and coming off the Rockies, it was just so cold that it was snowing. And there was a tornado warning. It was fantastic. It was a complete mind
Twist.
blank.
yes. A mind
That's why I
something.
said twist.
It was something.
A mind flap.
Man, flap you. How
Flap.
dare you, sir? Alright, so yeah, that was all for Hearthstone, is that adventure in the card backs. And mech mages suck.
Go ahead.
So that brings us to Lat's favorite thing in the world.
Oh, yes.
And also this week, with the announcement that they gave us, or maybe it was Data Mind, I'm not sure which, I'd have to actually go back and look. It's confirmed either way. I'm both looking forward and dreading 2.2.
Diablo!
Yet Diablo. Blizzard found a way to get me to play that game again.
You secretly
Go on.
just love it.
Well, here's some backstory for this. Level 60 Next is the only raid I have never, ever, ever done. I've never set foot in it. I just never could find a group whenever I could, and then when Wrath came out, it got moved, and you can't get there. So there's this one weapon, which is awful, but it's the only place you can get it. It's the only one of its model, and I don't have it, and it's the one weapon I want more than anything. Corrupted Ashbringer. And it whispers at you.
Sweet Ash.
Yep, it whispers at you.
Oh.
Yeah, there's sound files. You can look them up.
Nice.
So Diablo being, well, Diablo, they've already put Thunder Fury in the game. It's been in there for since day one. Decided we're gonna put Corrupted Ashbringer in our game. I see this and I'm like, you filthy pieces of garbage. I can't get it in WoW. I have to get it in Diablo so I can at least have it, because I'm weird like that. So my current plan is to wait about a week, figure out where it comes from, hopefully it's off a boss, farm the heck out of that boss if that's the way, get it, and stop playing again.
5 years later.
It's
Yeah,
happening.
that's pretty much what's going to happen.
When's the last time you played Diablo?
Season 1 was started, and I think I got to like 15, 20.
Oh.
I never did play it much.
So you have a 70.
I have 5 of them.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, I've got 5. Crusader, Barbarian, Wizard. I think my Witch Doctor is 70. My Monk is nowhere near 70, I know that. But yeah, I've got 4 or 5.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, so I've played the game, but it got to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm tired of this game. Even after the expansion came out, which I ended up buying like a week after it came out, because I was like, I'm done with Diablo. I don't care. And then everyone was like, oh no, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I was like, fine, I'll try it. It was better. the loot was way better because instead of getting completely random, why do I need this stat on this character again? Kind of thing every single time.
That'll still happen from time to time.
Yeah, that still happens
As
from
a
time to time.
disclaimer.
Yeah, that still happens, but it's a lot less. It wasn't every drop. Now you actually go farm the drop instead of farming the gold to buy the drop off the auction house. So that's better for my mindset. It's better, but still, I mean, I played the heck out of Diablo 2. I had level 99s on Battle.net, which take a long time. Even still, I mean, they don't really do anything with it, but yeah, it takes forever to get to 99. And that kind of thing. So I mean, I like Diablo games, but I just burn out on Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the launch that I tried to play for probably colored it. And on the off chance you live under a rock and don't know about it, but you know about Warlord's launch. Think of Warlord's launch only 2 weeks long, and instead of just having lag issues and all that, it was login issues. 1 out of every 10 people were able to log on. They'd get disconnected and get booted back out. So you couldn't even play it at launch, whereas Warlords you kind of could.
There is that.
So yeah, it was just one of the worst launches ever, and Blizzard has come out and said, yeah, we dropped the ball. So, it happens. It happens, they, in Warlord's case, they did give some free time to make up for it as an apology. They didn't have to do that, so that was really cool. But, yeah, in terms of Diablo 3, it's one of those games, I will play it every now and then, but honestly, I don't play it hardly at all. Like, there are other games that I would rather play.
I'm with you on the time, but I'm just trying to moderate. I burnt myself out really quick on it when I first started playing it, so I'm just trying to throttle myself a little bit so I don't do the same now. Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it. It's a nice unwind.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'll play Heroes because I'm enjoying the heck out of that game. I understand MOBA's not for everyone, but then Hearthstone's not for everyone, WoW's not for everyone. It's what you like, and I like strategy games, so I haven't played Starcraft in a while, but I like Starcraft. There's some tournaments going on. I think they're entering round of 16, which means there's 16 players left out of, I think they started 128 or 64 or something like that. Some huge number.
Was that a caveat to StarCraft news?
There really isn't a whole lot.
Segue?
Like, I'm gonna have a segue. I can probably barely spell segue.
I can't ride them.
I've never tried.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, if you got any more Diablo stuff, we'll talk about Diablo.
I got nothing. Diablo's pretty dry news-wise.
Yeah, which is typical from what I understand.
Yeah, they hinted at 2.2 last week. We haven't got really anything new. It's just kind of everybody.
There's some patch notes up on the site. Check them out if you care.
Yeah. That's about it, really. Yeah.
Ashbringer.
Yep.
Ashbringer.
Yep. That's like
some of the new
news.
sets do look pretty insane. So I'm excited for 2.2.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been excited for anything Diablo. Really, I'm really looking forward to that. Aside from just, I'm going to play some Diablo and relax and
Mindless
so
click.
it's good.
Yep.
And mouse click, yeah.
Yep.
As opposed to, I have a Naga Epic, so I mouse click when I'm in WoW too.
So I had a epic fail moment in Diablo.
Oh, dear.
Go ahead.
I just learned you can change the slots where your skills are.
Yes.
That makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Now, which
I'm probably a bad teacher because I didn't tell you about that.
Which
what do they call it? Elective mode.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I did learn that you can change the key bindings, but I just decided to leave those the same.
Mm-hmm.
But moving skills around and being able to use certain skills with
the same talent skill kind of.
Yeah, the same tree. Oh, it makes classes so much funner. No,
Yep.
more fun. It makes them more fun.
You're already winning the epic fail of the week, so
More funner.
yeah,
More funner.
yeah,
I speak
Yeah.
it in good English.
yep,
See, and all that stuff.
yeah. That was pretty big whenever they revealed you could do that.
Yeah, someone told me about that in a random rift. I'm like, is there any way to do this? They're like, yep. I'm like, oh,
How crazy have you gone with transmog so far?
I haven't really.
Really?
Yeah, but
Weird.
I know because I'm a transmogaholic in WoW.
I don't know.
I
what
thought
you
you were going a different route with that word for a moment.
I don't know anything about what you mean about transmogging.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, I don't have enough sets of armor that I could wear a different set every day of a month and not wear the same set twice.
Yeah, about that. I
More
don't really
when-
care about transmog. I'm such a baddie.
Well, honestly, I like some of the, like I will never. I'm a paladin. I would love to use the judgment set. I love the judgment set. I'm not going to. It's the most common one out there, so I go and look for the ones that I like that are maybe not as common. So
In WoW?
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. In Diablo, I did it too. Like I made certain armor. I actually for my wizard, I had quote unquote Sauron from Lord of the Rings, his armor. I put my wizard in that.
That's awesome.
So you see this thing coming at you, and you, what the heck is that? And all of a sudden he throws a spell at you. Like, what the heck is that? I actually was talking to someone whenever I was still playing back then, and they were like, "What? What? How does a melee?" I was like, "That's a wizard." They're like, "That is awesome."
Sadly, my wizard is too squishy.
Oh yeah, wizards are always too squishy, but they need to be because they can put the numbers out, or at least they used to. I don't know. I haven't obviously played in a while.
I don't know.
Yeah, so got nothing for Diablo. Starcraft tournaments, round of 16. Go them. Not a whole lot there. Heroes, nothing really new. They're going to be at PAX. That's about it. I'm still having fun playing. It leaves Overwatch. And as far as I know, we are going to be the first podcast to cover this. The press event. The press event they just did. Team Fortress 2 professional players. Now, I realize it's a different game, different setup, all that fun stuff. I also realize that the devs had better be freaking good at their game. Because it's their freaking game.
Yes.
But professional shooters players went up against the devs and got their butts handed to them repeatedly. Blizzard Pro, I think, was the website, put up an article literally minutes after midnight saying, one guy, this is what we can talk about. We can't really go into detail about what you haven't seen yet, that kind of thing. And just said, we just got outplayed. I mean, there was no way around it. And these are professional players. This is how they make their money.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so they're loving the game. They're like, we thought it was just gonna be a clone of our game and all this other stuff. And they're like, no, it's actually considerably more complex. Some of the classes are gonna be, a little easier. Some of them are gonna be, holy crap, how do I do all this stuff?
Yeah.
Which is typical of most games. But just the fact that the devs raffle stomped professional shooter players, I thought was amazing. Their
That
game
is
or
pretty
not.
awesome.
Well, like you hinted at, though, I mean, they should.
Well, I mean, at first, yes, it should be very one-sided early on. Excuse me. Definitely should be very one-sided early on. But as the day goes on, it should probably even out or even swing the other direction, in my opinion, with professional players. It didn't. It was one-sided the entire time from what that article said.
But you have to remember, though, they've been playing, like, they announced it at BlizzCon, which was, what, November?
Yeah.
And they said they've been playing it every time they...
Pretty much whenever they had chance.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even after working on it. So they know everything inside and out. Like,
Well, I won't go so far as to say they know everything, because it always happens. Some random dude will think of some goofy combination that the devs like that would never work, or holy crap, we didn't think of that.
yeah, but
So
in general.
Yeah, I mean, so they know we'll go with most, because there's always that one thing that someone will be like, oh, what if I do this? Holy crap, that breaks the game.
Yeah.
So while they probably didn't have enough time to come up with that one thing, I thought it was still pretty cool that professional players got their butts handed to them.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hooray, Blizzard!
Yay! And then it went on. There was a video in that article. They still haven't decided like a price or pay model or anything like that, like free to pay, that kind of thing. I'm thinking if it's any more than $20, if they make people pay for it, that's just stupid. Because there's apparently no single player / story mode. It's all PvP and that's it.
How much does, like, well, Team Fortress is free, right?
I'm thinking it should be basically like Heroes, which will be free to pay and you can buy skins and such.
Did you just say free to pay or play?
Play.
Oh.
There's an L in that word too.
Flap.
That would make the most sense to me. Because you can't have a game completely free, because then you just spend all this money and you're not having any income off of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't charge $60 for this game and have just PvP. There should be some kind of to me anyway. Don't get me wrong. If it was $60, I'd probably still pay it because I want to play Reaper.
What if Reaper is like a class you have to pay for?
I would probably still do it.
He's committed.
I'm committed.
He is committed.
Yeah. I mean,
See that.
I told you guys something a while back involving myself and Reaper.
Yeah.
And because I still have that idea, I don't want to say what it is. But yeah, it's just one of those things. While I would probably still do it, I would be upset about it.
Gotcha.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. But I mean, I went back and I watched waiting on last raid to end before we started tonight. I went back, I watched the cinematic from BlizzCon, some of the gameplay stuff, and it still looks amazing. Which, after a couple of viewings of WoW trailers, it's like, okay, whatever, you're done. These, to me anyway, still look freaking cool.
That's pretty awesome. I should go back and look at it again. And
Yeah.
Did I hear that there's going to be a beta soon for it?
We don't know when the beta is or the alpha or anything like that. I'm assuming it's an alpha now because they're letting people play. The fact that they had the professional players come and play it, various internet personalities such as Olivia Grace got invited to either the same one or maybe they had two. Either way, they had a bunch of people there. The fact that happened is telling me beta is probably sometime soon. If the date isn't given in PAX, we are definitely getting it for BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst case, it's going to happen at some point this year. They've announced beta will be this year. One of the videos actually had beta coming 2015. So, they still got 9 months.
Well, That's a long time.
So I'm thinking we'll probably get a date of when it's expected, or at least like a random time frame. Like we're thinking, 3, 4, 6 months, whatever, before the beta comes out. It's gonna start small, same as everything else, and grow bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I want in it.
I never get beta invites for the games that I play, but they spam me with ones that I don't really have that much interest in.
Yeah.
So I fully expect I will get an invite to the closed beta.
And if you get a code, I fully expect you to send me that code.
And I fully expect you to compensate me with something. No.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not gonna help you flap.
Flapping.
That's how I
would-
got into Diablo, though. I've never heard of Diablo, and then I got the beta, and I don't even know how I got the beta, but I did, and then I tried it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll buy the game. So
I don't
did.
think I got the beta for.
Actually, I
yeah, I
got
did.
the game for free because I had that what was that called? When you were subbed for a year
Yeah,
on WoW. Yeah.
that was annoying.
But hey,
That's another story altogether. But that to me is a sore spot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
No, you're fine. Yeah. Other than that, with Overwatch, they have heavily hinted that there will be a new character, playable, and revealed and playable.
Ooh.
With what we've seen so far and the pictures, with the lineup and stuff, I'm thinking it's going to be the cowboy, the Clint Eastwood wannabe.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
Because Blizzard has some magazines or something that it's the character itself is blacked out. He's not wearing a hat because that would obviously give it away. But that's who I'm thinking it's going to be, because out of all the other ones, he makes the most sense to me. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just my own personal thought.
Very cool.
Yeah. Other than that, there's not a whole lot Overwatch, which, no beta. There's not going to be a whole lot of news until Blizzard says, here's some news, which will come in packs. Which, yes, I will be watching that stream. So, yeah.
PAX coming up here quick, isn't it?
Where can you watch PAX at?
Oh, I would have to pull it up real quick. Where is it? I don't even know.
Because now I want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
Or on interwebs.
it's probably going to be on Twitch, honestly.
Well, I figured it would be a Twitch stream.
Yeah, if you Google it, it'll be up. And I can't even pull it up now. I'm having browser issues.
Ah, okay. No worries then.
Yeah. So, whatever. But other than that, I wish I would have put that in the notes. But yeah. Be sure to watch that. That is this Friday they're doing it. I would imagine it's going to be like around 9 a.m. Pacific. Maybe it's 9 a.m. Eastern. I don't know. But it's one of the 9 a.m.s. They're doing it.
Very cool.
Yeah, so 9 or noon, depending on which coast you're on. If you're somewhere in the middle, figure it out.
Time zones are hard.
I know, I can't figure it out. +1, +2. Other than that, we do have some fairly substantial news for us anyway. We are going to have a guest next week.
Go ahead.
Yay!
Now, I've officially not told you guys who it is. And I didn't want to tell you guys until after we did this show. So you guys are going to find out exactly who it is when we get done recording and all that. For the listeners, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I will give you a hint. Obviously, it's going to be Blizzard related. No, it is not a Blizzard employee. That I will say. But in terms of who it really is going to be, I will say this. Out of all the Blizzard games, WoW, Hearthstone, Diablo, Starcraft, Heroes, and Overwatch, that leaves a whole lot of people. right?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, you've got streamers, you've got podcasters. I mean, anything you can think of, there's someone doing something on the internet about it. This person is fairly well known. So the fact that he agreed, it just amazed me because we're like this little upstart whoop-de-doo thing. And all that. So, I mean, out of everything you've got, really, if you can think of who it is, it could be anyone it could be part of that realm of possibility. There's so many people out there that it could be. But it's a fairly well-known person, like I said. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. My hand was somewhere back there in that rambling.
Cool.
A realm of possibility.
Yep.
We have some stuff.
We've got some stuff coming. Like I said, whenever we get done recording, I'm going to tell you guys who it is. You're playing Diablo, aren't you?
Never.
No. She would never.
And let me guess,
Never
you're
Diablo would accidentally close our rift.
good job there.
Epic fail. I meant to click the blood shard lady.
Yep, that's number 2 of the night for you during the show.
Oh, at least.
So, yeah. Well, I'm not saying just fails in general. I'm saying epic fails. So you win epic fail of the week.
I do. Of
Yep.
the
On the
month.
night.
Of the month, it's the last night of February.
Well, actually, for me, it's the first night of March now because we're a day late.
And $1 short.
That is true.
Yeah, we're $1 short. Well, maybe 10 cents short. But yeah. So like I
Happy
said,
March.
Yep.
It's
happy
almost
March.
spring.
Yep. Only another.
Oh, yeah.
Another couple weeks. Oh, that reminds me. I'll mention again next week. Be sure to set your clocks ahead next Sunday, people.
Yes.
Or is it this week or next week?
March 8th.
So next week. Okay. Yeah, I'll
Sweet.
mention it again next week. I'll say it again next week. Set your clocks ahead so you're not late to work or whatever you're doing, because that sucks and people get mad at you.
Really?
Public service announcement
I
number
want to
2.
be late for everything.
Oh, so you're gonna fall asleep and
No, that already happened.
yeah. Yeah, that's why we were late this
I'm
time.
sorry, listeners.
Blame Charlotte. She's awful. If you get in a group with her, if you see a CTR blood DK named Charlotte, just whisper her and say, I blame you. She secretly loves it.
We're showering her with legendary goodness.
Apparently, that's my punishment for closing the rift. I get legendaries.
I'm not even talking to you. But, yeah, so that's our show. We forgot to do it last week because we're still new at this. Where can people find you?
In Omaha, wait.
No, no, I don't want. If you want to tell them where you live, that's fine. Don't do it here so that I'm not held liable.
You're liable anyways.
You can follow me on Twitch at CTR_lateralis. Or on, did I say Twitch? I
Yes.
did. That was Twitter. CTR_lateralis. Don't let late nights happen to you. And on Twitch at twitch.tv/willgsx.
And for our resident blood DK fail person,
Oh I'm really fail. Scarlet_CTR on Twitter and Scarlet_ on Twitch, but I don't stream much, so probably best to follow me at Twitter.
I am Draven Dresden. I am on Twitter. I am on Facebook. I am on Twitch. If you can find a Draven Dresden somewhere on the internet, it's probably me. Probably. I do know that someone made a fake account once, and yeah, that's another story that is not appropriate for the show.
Ha.
Yeah, that turned out well.
And on that note,
On that note, we're going to get the heck out of here so they can focus on their game, because this show takes so much effort on their part.
Yes.
Yep, I know, right? And whenever we get done with the recording, I will tell them the name of the person, and I will expect at least 2 questions from each of them for like an interview thing.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So everyone listening, have a good night, and
You know, the world could always use more heroes.